this week's episode, I've got my voice back, so we're having a quick little catch-up. Let's get into it. Before we get into the episode, please give me a cheeky little follow on Instagram, Miss Brightside25, and I'd love for you to give me a follow on TikTok and Facebook too, and I am Miss Brightside25 on them all. Let's get into it. Well, guess who's back and got a voice back? Me, Miss Brightside. Well, what a week. Not being able to speak, for people who know me, is really, really tough. What have I been up to? Today, I've been doing really, really random things. I have skinned onions. I found, I'm in my era of bit of cooking. I realise how much of an adult I am now. Bit of cooking, bit of potting around, and I found a cheat basically on TikTok where you buy a load of onions, slow roast them for 2 hours in the oven, and then squish them out to you're not going to peel them or anything, squish them out to their shells, and then blend them all up, and then that's your base for all your recipes, and it lasts absolutely ages. Just break a bit off in the freezer, just chuck it in straight from frozen when you're cooking. Game changer. That's my top tip for the week. What have I been up to as well? I went out with some friends last weekend. Oh, fabulous time. We went down to Tramshed in Cardiff, and they had an R&B orchestra. Now, I was thinking I don't really know what this is going to be like, but it was absolutely brilliant. Proper 90s classics R&B. We danced all night. And what happened on the way home was we had an Uber, because if you're from the valleys, you will know the last train home to the valleys towns is absolutely rubbish. Transport for Wales sorted out. We need later trains to the valleys. The last train up to Merthyr is 10:20. That's really early. We need a 11:30, 11:45 train. That'd be absolutely fantastic. But anyway, side note. So we get an Uber. Now we get into this Uber. Our lovely taxi driver, I don't know his name, but from then on, what an adventure we had. He was safely driving us home all the way, but he started telling us some stories. I thought I'd share some of the stories with you today. And one of the main stories he told us was, I'm not going to tell you what country he was in, because I don't think he's well liked from the country he went to. But he is a well-established traveller. My estimation, he's probably in his late 50s now. But when he was 26, I think he said he was, he went travelling the world. He travelled the world before that, went to lots of different countries all around the world, and then stumbled into this country. He was speaking to some people in a very packed town. And in this very packed town, then they started to open fire in this town on the people that he was speaking to. And there was quite a few people there. And he ended up being injured as part of that incident. Then he ends up becoming a prisoner, and basically didn't know if he was going to live or not. Lost 2 of his toes because of the incident, but while in prison. So basically they tied him up. They tried to get information out of him. They thought he was a spy, and I was like, oh my god, how scary and mad is that? Anyway, he now lives in Cardiff. And is taxi driving basically, and he was telling us all his other wild stories about crossing over borders without the right paperwork and all of these different things. And I thought to myself, what's the chances that we have stumbled across you? I tried to get him on the podcast, he was too busy. But he didn't even know what a podcast was. He said, I don't know how to listen to a podcast. And I told him I didn't, because I didn't have a voice, but my friends in the car told him all about the podcast. And I was like, wow, what a man, what a storyteller. But sadly, you've had my version of his story, which is a bit watered down because some of it was a bit gruesome. He lost 2 of his toes because, I will tell you this bit, because they came in the cell, put his foot on a table and dropped a sledgehammer on his foot multiple times until 2 of his toes fell off. I was like, oh my god, it's terrible. But he survived. He managed to get home to the UK, and yeah, he told us some interesting stories. So that was wild. That was a wild taxi journey home. So what am I here to talk to you about today? Well, I don't know if anybody's seen it, I shared a little post on my Instagram, and the quote goes as follows. There's a past version of you that's so proud of how far you've come. And this is really important for me. And I don't know about anyone else who's listening, but quite often I am chasing the next thing in life. I think it's something that's built into us that we are chasing our next job, our next house, our next goal, our next. And now there's nothing wrong with chasing your goals and pushing yourself to be better you. But sometimes I think to myself, we don't take enough time to just pause in the moment and to just stop, take a breath and go, wow, look how far I've come. And it might not have been the path you originally thought you were going to go on. Maybe you've gone a different way. Maybe things haven't gone exactly where you thought they were going to go. And maybe you're not where you want to be right now. If you're not where you want to be right now, I will remind you that it will come. You will get where you want to be. And you will find your way in that path and that journey. For anyone who is on that journey and is where, maybe necessarily where they didn't think it would be, but is happy and enjoying or struggling or whatever you're doing, I think to myself very often, I stop and I have to think to myself, blinking heck, this is all I've ever wanted. And yeah, I'm chasing the next thing instead of actually stopping, pausing and enjoying my life a little bit. Like work-life balance is one of those things that a lot of people, I feel, they haven't really got it. They haven't got that balance right. And I'm not saying I'm perfect by any means, because I really am not. But I seen a TikTok recently of a TikTok recently of France, and I don't know if this is a generic TikTok, whether it's true or not. And I'm also basing my facts on Emily in Paris because I watched that as well. But it's just how different cultures basically have different approaches. On this TikTok, she's in early, she's in Bayaba State, and the French lady in the TikTok turns up and she's like, "What are you doing here?" She's like, "Well, I've come in early." She's like, "We don't start till 9:00. Then they have meetings. The only thing is, I did love this. If any of us have ever been in a meeting and we've all been, we're like, this could have been an email. Why is this a meeting? I've spent 45 minutes on you. This could have been a 2-sentence email." But the girl goes, they start the meeting. They're like, yeah, they talk for 10 minutes. Like, yeah, meeting solved, basically. Then she turns to the girl and goes, "Are you coming for lunch?" And she's like, "Oh, I'm just eating by my desk." She's like, "No, they have like an hour or 2 hour lunches. And they're all finished by 4 because they've done their work." And I was like, that is a bit of the life balance I'd love. I would love that life balance. But my wonderful mentor once told me many, many moons ago, the more time you give something, the more time it will take. So for example, the more time you give work, the more time it'll take of your life. So you have to, where at all possible, be a little bit more stringent. So I was talking to a colleague recently and I read again online and I thought this was awesome. There was a quote which said, "Is it a glass ball or is it a rubber ball?" It explains that if it's a glass ball, if you drop it, it'll shatter and it's really important you fix it now. If it's a rubber ball, you drop it, it'll bounce back, so that can wait till tomorrow or that can wait till next week, or you can schedule that in. And it's really helped me prioritise some of the things I do in my personal life and my work life. I've also signed up to a Welsh Government course, which I'm really looking forward to, and I will feed back to you on some of the wonderful things they're going to teach me. I don't know when that is, mind. But I don't think often enough we stop and just think to ourselves, wow, I've come so far. Look at this little life I'm living. Look at what I am doing and how far I have come. It might not be exactly what I thought it was going to be, but blinking heck, I'm proud of where I am. And it doesn't have to be, you might not be happy 100% where you are right now, but there'll be something in your life that you are proud of right now. So cheer yourself on. Believe in yourself. I'm more like, you know what I'm like. I will cheerlead anybody. You can do whatever you put your mind to. But be proud of where you are. Find that something, that little gem in your week that you're proud of. And don't work too hard. Do your job. Do it well. But you know what? When the end of the day comes, switch off. Look after yourself and make sure you have that life balance. We don't have many sunny days in Wales, and we've had bloody fabulous sunny days recently. And there's nothing wrong with finishing that hour earlier than you were planning. Because do you know what? enjoy that little moment, because you don't know when the next one's going to come. So hopefully we'll have more sunshine this week. And I am on the healthy eating, so wish me luck, because my wonderful friend is getting married in 8 weeks' time. We've got her hen party this weekend coming up. Can't blink and wait. Oh, do you know what? Blink and love an hen party. And yeah, just enjoy yourselves, girls and boys. Hopefully we'll have a little bit more sunshine in our lives. Have an absolutely amazing week. And thank goodness my voice is back. Have a fabulous week, everyone. Thank you so much for listening to me. You don't understand how much it means to me, you guys listening. But more importantly, give us a little cheeky follow on Instagram if I haven't already done it. Miss Brightside25. And remember, see the positives, even in the little things. And have an absolutely amazing week.